Good afternoon po. Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon again, Payawing Lubat Sorsogon. Today is April 28, 2026. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contract 26 FL0016-001 ensures safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, tertiary roads, Bacon, Sawanga, Prieto, Diaz Road, Preto Diaz Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Joanna C. Calagos, Back Chairman. Levi B. Pura Jr., Back Vice Chairman. Lea E. Futanares, Back Member. Dave Clint B. Amelia, TWG. Abby Rodriguez from Planning Section. Jesalu R. Amelia, Back Member. Cecil A. Lucine, Back Member. Glenn L. Inicio, Back Secretariat. Madam Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum and wala pong present na contractors here today.
Okay, since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows. First, basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility checks, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, supplemental to be issued, questions, comments from the bidders, the replies of the bank and other representatives of the procuring entity, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Abby Rodriguez.
Basic contract data, 26 FL0016 and 001 ensures safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, tertiary roads, Bacon, Sawanga, Prieto, Diaz Road, kilometer 612 plus -249 to kilometer 615 plus 485. Contract location, Preto Diaz Sorsogon. The approved budget for the contract or ABC is 100,868,154 pesos and 74 centavos. Source of fund, 2026 GAA. Contract duration, 147 calendar days. Predetermined unworkable number of days is 31 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on May 11, 2026 until 10 a.m. Opening of bids May 11, 2026 immediately after closing receipt of bids. The major category of work, the code is RMA. Scope of works, this project covers preventive maintenance works such as application of top coat, laying, spreading, and compaction of hot mix, asphalt overlay 50 mm thickness, repainting of pavement markings and reblocking works. It also includes installation of streetlights in specified road segment. Objective, to improve road quality and extend lifespan of national roads. Here is the geotag photos and the screenshot of application for CNC. Certifications and the DED or Detailed Engineering Design Plan, the summary of quantities, the location, and the SLT or straight line diagram, the typical section, and the cross section. The requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specification, the DPWH Blue Book Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Here's the bid data sheet. These are all downloadable from the DPWH website and PhilJEP's website. The special conditions of contract, the bill of quantities, and the minimum manpower requirement for project manager must have handled infrastructure project engineer DPWH accredited PE, materials engineer DPWH accredited ME, general construction foreman must have handled similar projects, and safety and health officer must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. The minimum equipment requirement, asphalt distributor, tower broom, toad type, asphalt paver, pneumatic tire roller, tandem steel roller, water truck or pump, cargo service truck, applicator machine, all 1 unit, gardening machine, truck-mounted crane, straight boom lift, backhoe, low-bed trailer truck, motorized road grader, and payloader all 1 unit, and dump truck all models 2 units.
Corrections lang po. For minimum work experience requirements for key personnel, since hindi naman po ito road, buildings and bridges, classified as roads po. For project engineers, must have handled similar projects. For materials engineer, must be a DPWH accredited materials engineer. Key points po, the lowest calculated responsibility will be used as criteria for award. The amount of advance payment is 15% of the total contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payments shall be first be charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted at the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit program work up to the procuring entity within 10 calendar days of the delivery from the notice of award. We are following the 2-envelope system, where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical envelope, and the second envelope contains the financial proposal. Our bid validity is 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Sealing and marking of bids. Yan po ang ating 2-envelope system, where the first bid shall be marked the original technical, and yung second envelope po shall be made naman original financial envelope. All po yan ang dalawang envelope, nakalaki po sila sa isang envelope, marked as original bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contractor bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time, the opening of bids. Ganun din po sa ating copy 1. Enclosed din po sila sa isang bid. Yung original at yung copy 1 bid shall be then enclosed into a mother envelope. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient bank, procuring entity, and then the markings do not open before the date, time, the opening of bids. Unsealed, unmarked bid shall not be accepted. Not compressed and password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bid shall be accepted, provided the contractor acknowledges the condition of bid as submitted in the back. Improperly compressed and password protected shall be accepted. Submission and receipt of bids. For modification of bids, bid modification must be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid, however, shall submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. For letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and expiration of the bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic submission of bid, bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, labeled as a modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong 2 modes of submission of bid. Yan po ay through manual submission of bid and electronic submission of bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng kanilang bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa box secretary at office. DPWH Sorsogon, 2nd DEO, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bid, yan naman po ay sa electronic bids _Sorsogon 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Eligibility criteria. The following persons or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding of infrastructure projects. Duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per section 52.4.2.1 of the IRR RA 12009. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under any treaty or international or executive agreement as provided in Section 4 of the Act of the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid PCAM license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to bid at least 50% of the ABC. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractors under small A and small B categories with a similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to bid is not more than the ARCC of their registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC to be bid. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding must be in the document request list, DRL, of the PhilJobs website and secure a printout copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works Application, CWA, at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those who have already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH Contractor Profile Eligibility Process, CPEP, and subject under further post-qualification. We encourage our bidders po to enroll in the CWA to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. If enrolled in the CWA, these are the documents they have to submit: PCAM license and registration. In case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, joint venture agreement if applicable. If hindi naman po na-enroll sa CWA, these are the documents they have to submit: PhilJobs Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR, PCAM license and registration in case of joint venture agreement, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement. Mandatory requirements: documents comprising the bid technical components, bid security in a form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2% of the ABC. Surety bond, callable upon demand, 5% of the ABC. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng panibagong format ng ating bid securing declaration as per RA 12009. Project requirements: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units owned or leased or under purchase agreement, list Data's General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for Corporation, ISO 9001:2015 certification or its latest version as applicable, as per Department Order 110, Series of 2024. Omnibus Sworn Statement, duly notarized. Please be guided po ulit ng ating panibagong format ng Omnibus Sworn Statement. Please refer na lang po sa ating RA 12009. Tax clearance. Submission of DIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BIR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Yan po ang panibagong format ng ating bid securing declaration at saka omnibus form statement. For the second envelope po, yung financial proposal, it shall contain the bid form, summary of bid prices and a bill of quantities, Detailed estimate including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule. Other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided po ulit ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng ating bid form. Any omission of the provisions of the bid form, bid securing declaration, or omnibus form statement shall be grounds for disqualification po. For the detailed evaluation of bid, ang purpose mo yan is determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method is a non-discretionary criterion which shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures versus bid price in words, bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating bidder of the no contact rule, prohibition or communication with bidders from bid evaluation until the award of contract. For post-qualification, ang purpose po niyan is determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. The declared lowest calculated bid, the lowest calculated responsive bid. Then, ang method po natin is a non-discretionary fast or criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. Post-qualification, key personnel verification. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The person shall be put out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. She will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Equipment verification. Also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reason for bidders' disqualification. Letter A, late submission of bids. B, submission of patently insufficient bid. Under patently insufficient bid po, submission of an expired certificate of PhilJEP's registration. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae. Failure to submit the required bid form, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements to be required in the bid forms. Submission of the bid form, bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel for the profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order No. 9, 2012. Failure to comply with the minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Insufficient NFCC, insufficient SLCC. Thank you po.
Okay. May mga questions na po? Since we have no more matters to discuss,